All right, everyone, let's go ahead and jump into the Bitcoin price action. And I'm actually recording this in the morning, so good morning, guys. And that's because I'm going snowboarding today, so I'll be out doing that, which means the price action might not be quite as relevant, but it's going to be a short video, and what I'm going to talk about is still very applicable. It's something we talked about yesterday with this weekly bearish divergence going on. This is actually the daily time frame. When we go to the weekly, you can see this is what I drew in yesterday's video, and we actually came up and kind of pixel touched this arbitrary box. Very hard to give targets in price discovery, but this one made some sense to me with this kind of trend of these two highs back here. And I think where price goes after finding this resistance will be a big sign on where Bitcoin is going to go later on. So essentially we have this big CME gap down here at around $80,000 or under 80,000 all the way down to around 77,500, very large CME gap. And I would say if we actually fill this, while yes, that would probably be bullish in the short term, we would probably rally off of that, make a higher high, that it would show a sign of weakness. So if we want to go to multiple six figures, if we want to go to $250,000 on Bitcoin, it should not give traders or buyers the chance to accumulate back at that CME gap. It should disrespect it, like it did last cycle when we broke out of the range. Going back over to the CME chart, something we looked at a bunch here on the channel. Very similar thing. We created a big CME gap on the breakouts of our previous all-time highs, and Bitcoin does not retest them until much later on. But at the same time, I mean, we actually do have some CME gaps we come and fill. If we go to the shorter term time frame, come back here, you can see that we create a gap right there on January 3rd, 2021, and we do immediately come back down to wick through this before continuing on up. So I don't know, like I said, this stuff's very hard to predict just based on like one fractal, but overall if we do fill it, it should be a very quick wick as such, and we shouldn't spend much time down there. Once you do start these long consolidation periods like so, you usually only get one more up thrust as we did back here, and it would start to show a sign of weakness on the chart. So let's see what happens here. If it's a quick wick down and then we can get back above and then head on up to those large six-figure price targets, or if we are going to show some weakness within here that could give us a sign that we're going to roll over sooner rather than later. But even then, I mean, we could go for a extended back test and then fire off into multiple six figures. It's really very hard to predict this stuff. We're just reacting to the markets and seeing as time goes on. So far I think we're doing pretty well, and a big reason I'm not worried right now with like anything being topped out is that we're just not seeing the rotation into risk, right? Bitcoin dominance is still heading up with this short pullback here. Really would not be concerned about anything until you do see the alts really starting to fire off, and then the meme coins will go after that. So we still got a lot of the cycle ahead of us, but things should start to ramp up pretty quickly just like Bitcoin has here. But yeah, we'll see where price is by the time I upload this video. It's at 85,300. This is probably going to go live in like 6 hours from now, so we'll see. What I expect is probably to front run CME. So CME's at 80k. I would expect us to front run it and then not give those traders the chance to buy. There's probably a lot of shorts in the market trying to short down to that gap, so market makers are probably not going to want to let them close out of their positions and then continue to squeeze them up on higher as it's been doing throughout here. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Not really too much to go off of today. Really just more interested into what's going to happen once we do see Bitcoin dominance start to fall and the Russell breaks all-time highs. We still don't have that yet, so yeah, just kind of patiently waiting for a lot of our risk on stuff to break out, but definitely not concerned about anything at all. Still got the same bullish sentiment and still believe my thesis is broken of an upthrust after distribution. I don't think that's what we're seeing. I think we're seeing a proper breakout here on Bitcoin, but only time will tell. If you have any questions about anything I talked about or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. I also got a bunch of exchange partners down there, one of which is doing a limited time event right now, which is Blowfin. So if you do leverage the trade, make sure to go ahead, sign up for Blowfin, to deposit some money up to $10,000 to get a 10% cash back futures bonus. So deposit 10 grand, you get yourself some free $1,000. Deposit 1,000, you get yourself a free $100 to trade with. So don't miss out on that. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.